Heart of a Woman.
So guys, we're back, Heart of a Woman, with my beautiful sister, Sister Doris Gray, true purpose woman right here. So Sister Gray, before we went to break, you were sharing about your life as a mother and raising 7 children with your husband. Something we don't really celebrate much is the love of a husband. When you talk to women today, and even some older women, they would bash men and bash their husbands and say, he was this, he was that. But you were saying that your husband was a good man. He was a good man, and because of that, you were able to cope with whatever challenges you had and to raise these children. Mm-hmm. But you told me that your husband died. At what age did he die, and were the children small?
Yes.
They were young?
Yes, some of them were grown up
mm-hmm.
and stuff, and he died at, he was 63 when he died, and he was sick.
Pretty young man.
He was sick for 5 years. So the Lord was preparing me all the time while he was there, sick and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But before he became a Christian, before that, you have your challenges with men. And you see, some of the things that we have to remember as women, when you marry a man, you marry into a generation,
yes.
a background.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have to think from the background that man come, the background.
Yes.
Right?
So you marry, really, as you say, a history.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
History of people.
And I remember going to Brother Caesar's class. He used to have a Bible class. And then, sometimes Brother Caesar would jokingly say, when you're married to a man, you're married to the papa.
Yes.
So it's a generation. And when sometimes you see the traits,
mm-hmm.
the traits will come up.
Yeah, when you see things manifesting.
Yes,
yeah.
you see that.
So how did you deal with these? Because I don't want people to feel that you lived in a
perfect
no, my
dear,
marriage. Because no marriage is perfect.
No, there are challenges.
Of course. So how did you deal with these traits mm-hmm. that you see, these things that were manifesting
right,
themselves?
And then, let me tell you, the older folks, when they meet you, they will tell you about your husband's generation,
yes.
especially if you have old relatives and stuff, they will tell you.
Yeah.
So, and some of the things I did not know when I got married, that is the time I know, and I have to deal with it.
Yeah, so how did
and
you
have to use,
how did you deal
we have
with
to
that?
use wisdom.
Right.
As a mother and as a wife, you have to use wisdom, because sometimes there are some vexing problems.
Yes.
And you have to deal with it.
Yes.
And you deal, in a wise way. Mm-hmm. You understand? And stuff. And then sometimes you have to use, what I must say, I don't know if it's psychology or what you call it. But
psychology,
you
yes.
have to be, you have to look at the situation and say, well, it's not all his fault. You understand? Right. And know how to deal with it.
Yeah. And what role did your relationship with Jesus Christ play in you being able to manage these things?
Because when my husband got saved, there were things that he did not know. But Pastor Gift and Pastor Prescott were ministers at the time, and they used to have family meetings and stuff. And sometimes they say they have family meetings with the men only.
Right.
And family meeting with the wives and stuff. And then they will impart certain knowledge to the men. And
yes.
then my husband will get to realize that, that is not the way, and the right way, and family meeting is very important.
Yes.
For a family. The churches had to be wise in these days. You have the young men, and you have that is why the word of God said, let the older men teach the young men, and let the older women teach the younger women. And that is what is missing in these days, because as a young mother growing up, there were some ladies in my village, and they will impart certain knowledge to me, even though they weren't Christian in the sense of the word. And then when I became a Christian and going to Bible class and hearing these things and seeing in the Word of God in Timothy where the older women, I said, but these people used to be doing what God said, and they really helped me. And I thank God for these older women. And in these days, that people sort of look down on these elder women. It's a shame.
It is a shame.
It is a shame.
I do agree.
Because I remember, even though I used to go to work, on a Mondays, if I didn't go, on a Thursday I will go to the home for the aged at the hospital and sit and talk with these people, talk with the women, and there is so much that these people can impart to us, and we just ignore them.
Yes.
It's a shame.
We think that, you know, they're
Like they're
out
not,
of pasture, you know, that they don't have anything
to impart
share,
to us.
which I totally disagree.
Yes.
Because I listened to you when we had, it was our Father's Day celebration at church. And I love listening to the mature women, because you have so much you can teach us. So much you can teach us about how to manage our children.
Exactly.
How to entreat with our husbands, you know, basic things in life.
Right.
Yeah, and I do believe that that generation gap, it needs to be, you know, closed. We need to come together and sit at the feet of our elderly, you know, of our older women, of our older sisters, and listen to what they have to say to us.
Exactly.
You know, so I am glad that you're here, and you would definitely be sharing some stuff. So you were able to pray yourself through the situations that you saw, and you said wisdom, and I love that. And that wisdom didn't come from you.
No, it come from God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you, when you have your home as a mother, you have to protect your family. You have to be very careful. The things.
How did you do that?
Well, first by having family devotion and family meeting. Right?
Tell me about the family meeting. I remember you spoke about the family meeting.
Oh my dear, my second son, he was the chairperson when we have family meeting, and he, they will call me a little sweet name, which I wouldn't share with you.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, because at that time, well, it's neutral grounds, eh? I'm not mother at that time. We all are one, and they will say what they think about me, and what they think about daddy and what have you. And I used to get the most blows because I'm the one with the whip.
Yes.
So, and they would say what they don't like about mommy and what mommy did and things that I don't even remember. They would
so you were the bad cop and daddy was a good cop.
Because daddy and BT is I doing the sharing of the leaks. So they would say, and let me tell you, if you allow your children to tell you some of this stuff, it's true.
Yes.
What they are saying is true, and then you will know how to adjust.
Yes.
And that is so necessary in a family, And after the meeting is over, will I become mother again? But it used to be real funny.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I try to butt in to defend myself, my son used to shut me up. I have to keep quiet. And it used to be real funny and stuff like that.
But you see, what you were teaching your children as well was social skills. You're giving them some social skills and how to develop certain skills. Yes, and that's so awesome.
And I remember one of the things, when we used to have devotion, they used to say, Mommy, let daddy get the devotion, especially on a Friday, right? Because when you hear I finish praying, when we're having devotion, I used to say, okay, they put on the night clothes and stuff like that. And sister, when I finish praying, I waking up to go in the bed, so they're not seeing Little House on the Prairie. And then
they can't watch television.
No, because I prayed so long.
No, yes.
But when it's daddy, he short. So they used to say, let daddy pray.
Yeah, so they can watch television.
Right. I said, come on, you go in the bed, and when they wake up in the morning, well, I tell you, I get in it good because but it was real fun, and so on. And family life is a nice life, sister. It's a real nice life. You understand? You have your ups and downs, but then,
but
love is
you
it.
have to choose
Exactly.
to want that, because today you find that a lot of people, first of all, sister, before I even go there, we have a lot of single women in our churches. Why do you think that is, though? What do you think? Why are there so many single women?
They have singles now. One of the reasons, let me tell you, when I started going to Pentecost, we used to have quarterly, and we go from one village to the other. It was never one area. So when you go, you would see somebody, because I know of people who, they meet their wife in another community, but now you have it, and that kind of thing. We have to learn to socialize and that kind of thing. To, you know, the Bible said the children of the world are wiser than us.
Yes.
You look what is going on out there. All these people out there organized, and we call ourselves Christians.
Yes.
We're not organized.
Yeah, so we need to socialize.
Of course,
more.
some more.
Yes.
Right? And recently we have our family day, and it was so much fun.
Yes, at Abundant Life.
Right.
Yes.
And I think, I said, next time we having family day, we should invite another church or two more churches.
Yes,
so let all, you know what I mean, that kind of thing, because it was real a nice time. We have different sections. The red, the green, and the blue,
yes.
and we cook and stuff, and people going by one another and eat. Sister, it was such a beautiful experience.
Great.
And stuff. I really enjoy myself,
Nice.
and I think we should have more of that.
And invite, as you said, invite
other churches. Let them come and let us have a good time with one another, because when we get to heaven, is that we have to do.
Exactly.
So that is what we have to practice it down here.
Right, so you're saying that we have a lot of single women in the churches because we don't socialize enough. But do you think that the single women are not prepared
for marriage?
Yes.
I wouldn't say that. And let me tell you something, sister. Whatever you desire, you have to pray about it.
Yeah.
And not because singleness, it doesn't mean loneliness, you know.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't mean loneliness. You have to be prepared for that. Because as a child, I always pray about having a husband, you know what I mean, and that kind of stuff. And when you're praying, make sure you ask God for the right husband. Don't rush in to anything, because you might regret it.
So what are some of the things you think they should pray about when they're asking for? I mean, different people want different things. But what did you ask God for?
And let me tell you, sister, before I go there, you have to make sure you ask, when you're asking God, ask God to send somebody compatible.
Somebody compatible
to you.
Yes.
Because not because the person might have a big job and that kind of thing, and you want some, you know, that doesn't necessarily, and somebody that you love, somebody who will share, you know, because let me tell you, when you get married, your husband would not remain the same all the time. You wouldn't have that looks, right? Yeah. You wouldn't have maintained that youthfulness.
You did.
Right.
You did.
But I'm just telling you, because sometimes you say, you know, you say, but look how my husband get, and maybe you don't like him anymore, and so on, because you only want to get married. Make sure you're married for love, L-O-V-E.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Or else, when the turbulent time comes, and it will come, it will come in different ways, maybe in sickness, or sometimes
finances.
Right. And so on. So I had to be prepared.
Yes.
And I tell you, God helped me in so many ways in my marriage and my family life. There were times when I didn't have enough to give my children, right? And I have to pray about it and tell the Lord about it. And the Lord was there for me.
He provided.
He provided. And you must let your children know, you know, the situation in the home. Let them know what is, you know, what is going on.
Don't
so that
hide
they would
it from them.
No, they would understand.
Yes.
And that kind of thing. So don't get married for marriage's sake. You better remain single than to get married and when you finish you regret and that kind of thing. Because trials and testings will come. And you know, in our Tobago situation, you have in-laws problem and that kind of thing come in the picture too sometimes. And if you don't have a prayer life, you're in big trouble, I can tell you that. You know?
Okay, Sister Grace, so much you're sharing.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just intrigued. So guys, we're taking a quick break and we'll be right back.
Heart of a Woman.